Hi guys, and welcome back to the 80 something, maybe 90th episode of the Junkie podcast. My name is Amber. I'm coming to you from my home in Texas, where I live with my husband and our 3 daughters and many pets, one of which is at my feet. Y'all met my little dog Sicky last week. So it's only been about a week since I last sat down and recorded with you guys. I might not be able to record for the next 2 weeks, so I definitely wanted to sit down and record with you this week. Next week is my 11-year-old's birthday. She's 10, but she'll be 11. And so next weekend we're doing a whole birthday thing, and then the next week's Thanksgiving. So I don't know where time's going, but I'll jump right in. I'll talk about what I'm wearing. I showed you guys this last week. This is my swag by Caitlin Hunter, and I knit it using the cap sleeved. That was just my modification of the pattern. It's still early in the morning, need more Dr. Pepper in my life, but I really enjoyed knitting this. I definitely want to knit it again. I know that I can't remember her name, but one of the people I follow knit this just using black yarn, so she didn't do the color work. She just knit the whole thing in black, and this yoke, this lace bit here, was just stunning, and just having it in black yarn. I don't know if I'm that brave, but it's something that's on my radar, that I want to make this again using just a black yarn. And then this that I have on, I don't know if I ever showed this on the podcast or not. I might have. It is the Andrea Mowry What the Fade cardigan, or faded cardigan, whatever it is. It's her cardigan that she faded. And this is huge on me because I knit it for my husband, and I'm just wearing it right now because it's freezing in here this morning. Fall has come to Texas. It's quite cool outside. It keeps alternating though, so we'll have like a couple of warm, like 70-degree days, and then a couple of like 50-degree mornings, 40-degree mornings, and I'm like, I don't do well with the cold. So I've got his sweater on just so I could show you guys. I really enjoyed this knit. This cardigan's a very simple cardigan to knit. A lot of people did really cool faded projects, but I just used one color, and I did alternate the skeins, and yeah, there's like stuff all over it. It's been in his closet. He's worn it a couple times, but he's not really a big sweater person, so, but he keeps asking me to make him sweaters, so we have to make sweaters for him. I've been working on a few things this week, and so I'm just going to jump right in and get to it. This is something that I started actually over the summer, and I didn't show it to you guys last time, but it is the Rocket Tee by Tanis Lavo. She's Tanis Fiber Arts, y'all know her. But the Rocket Tee, so you do one skein of mohair and one skein of regular yarn and kind of alternate them, so you're doing this striped t-shirt. Love it. I went to the Ravelry project page and kind of looked at some other people's projects, and I saw someone had done just, instead of her like blocks of stripes that she's doing, where it's like chunks, someone just did every 2 rows they would stripe it, and I really loved the way that looked, so that's what I'm doing. This was more of my birthday yarn from last year. I got this at McKinney Knittery. So my mohair is Suburban Stitcher, and I want to say it's like the color Swamp or something. Swamp's in there somewhere. Let me carefully pull out the tag, because mohair. Yeah, Suburban Stitcher is her silky mohair lace, and it's the colorway Swamp, and I love it. It's like this little kind of ochre green, acid green, yellowish, and it really sings in the sunlight, like it glows. And then this one is, I want to say Long Dog. Let me pull out the tag, because I don't remember. It was a while back. Yeah, long dog yarn. Long dog yarn. I assume she has a weenie dog. And it's her sock base, bounce sock, and it's colorway gingerbread. So again, just a really cool golden brown, almost yellowish brown. Gold. I guess we can call both of these colors gold. It's kind of green, yellow. It really reminds me, so we went back to Hawaii this summer, and this was my project that I took along with me because this really reminds me of the color of sea turtles. And we did see another sea turtle while snorkeling, so it's kind of becoming tradition to see sea turtles, though it's not hard to see them there. They're kind of everywhere, like squirrels here. But this is my progress so far. So not very much progress at all. It is a very simple, easy pattern, but knitting with the mohair is kind of slow going just because it's ultra slippery, and yeah, I just haven't really put a lot of time into this project. But every morning now I'm trying to get through one of these little repeat rows, which is doing 2 rows with this yarn and 2 rows with this yarn. And so I've put quite a bit of progress into it on this week. I was here when I picked it up this week, and so I've knit for a couple of mornings. Not too much progress, but still progress. I'm knitting this on size 4 signature needles. And yeah, I cannot wait to have this FO. I think it's going to be gorgeous with my skin tone. And it's just super soft and amazing. I think it will look really professional when I have it done too. So that is that project. We'll just put this right here because I want to do another row on that this morning after we get done podcasting. So, and now I've just removed my tags and I'll lose them. Oh well. Another project, I did show you guys this last week, so we'll jump into this. This project bag, I wish I could remember the maker. I know she's out of like Washington or Oregon, and I have quite a few of her project bags. I kind of love these like fringe type bags with the Rifle Paper Company fabric. It is beautiful. And I'm just drawing a blank on her name. She doesn't have logos in her bags, but that's okay. Oh, she does. Look, it's right here. That Crafty Little Fox. So that's what this project bag is, that Crafty Little Fox. And it matches my project so nicely. So this is the Andrew and Mallory Shifty sweater. Let me see if I have a picture to show you hers. All my photos are black and white, and because I have not wanted to, my computer ink is expensive, so everyone knows the Shifty. Forgive my pattern being worn. It's been pulled in and out of my bag quite a bit, but this is just such a mindless, easy, go with the flow knit, and I am loving every stitch. I love my yarn. I went over this last time, but I'm using Spin Cycle and Overpasses and Madeline Tosh in Havana, I think. And I cast this on because I was like so sad not to be going to Rhinebeck again. I've never been, and so it's still on my bucket list to go. But this year, when I was on social media, seeing everybody being back at the festivals and doing all the fun yarn things with their friends, I had FOMO. So I was like, I'll cast on a special Rhinebeck sweater, regardless of whether I'm going or not. And so I have my little Sucre miniature donut on here, which is the apple cider cinnamon donut that they all talk about eating. And I'm not really big on apple cider, so that's probably going to be a pass for me if I ever do make it. I'm just not into it. So, but I did separate for the sleeves since we last talked. It is, like I said, it's so squishy and textured and amazing. It's mosaic knitting, and so you're only ever knitting with one of the yarns at a time. And so it's like 2 rows you knit with one of the yarns, and then for the next 2 rows you knit with one of the yarns, and you're slipping stitches. So that's where I got last podcast, I think that I was about to separate for the sleeve. So I was probably right in here somewhere. And so I've knit quite a bit because there's a lot of stitches on these needles. I've knit about 2 inches. And yeah, I'm just kind of trucking along on this. I'm not in a hurry. There's no deadline that I have to have this finished. I would like to have this finished by the end of the year, but if it doesn't happen, it's an enjoyable knit that I'm just kind of meditating on. So my needles, I think I'm using Chalku size 4. Size 4 seems to be my size for almost everything. I do knit a lot of fingering weight, so I guess that's why, fingering weight sweaters. But yeah, so that is that progress. And I have also cast on a project since we last spoke. I know I did not finish the socks. Look, I hear someone. Hello.
Good morning, Mom.
Good morning. Okay, I'm gonna pause and get her set up. Okay, Dad's on baby duty, so hopefully we can get through this. Like I was saying, I cast on a new project. This bag is Tanny Casey, another Rifle Paper Company print. I love their prints. But I wanted to knit my baby a sweater for her birthday, which is December 20th. And this pattern, the Woodland Popcorn Pullover, is so cute. And they have a free baby doll version. So you can knit this sweater and then knit a little baby doll sweater for the baby. And she loves her baby dolls. She carries them around, plays with them. We do tea parties. And so that was all based off of, I got to knit her baby doll a sweater. And of course, she needs a matching one. I have not started the baby sweater yet, but this is my preschooler sweater. And I've gotten quite a bit of progress in on this. I probably would have done more, but I was kind of trying to put time into my own sweater and other projects that I'm kind of thinking about working on. So this is just one skein so far. The pattern calls for a DK weight yarn, and I'm using Madeline Tosh in their Farm Twist. What is that called? Base. That's the word. Their Farm Twist base and colorway Barbara Deserved Better, which is like a Stranger Things reference. But I really love all these like shots of neon orange and pink and little black splotches. It's just a really enjoyable yarn to be knitting up, and these popcorns are a lot of fun to make. The pattern is more, I will say this, it's more kind of a recipe-ish because she doesn't really tell you about your placement of the popcorns. She just tells you this row you'll evenly distribute your popcorns. So there's been a lot of tinking on this for me because I've gotten off a couple of stitches on my popcorns here and there. And so that was a bit frustrating, but not to the point where I'm like, screw this project, I'm going to throw in the project bag and not knit it. But yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying how this is knitting up. And when my baby saw me knitting this, she really didn't like it at first, and she kept insisting, I need a purple sweater. I need a purple sweater. And she doesn't want pink. She wants purple. But then my husband told her she is still obsessed with boobies. I nursed her and pumped milk for her, and she was very attached to that whole relationship. And so for 2 years now, even though she hasn't nursed, 1 second. No, it's fine. He had to come turn on the heat because, like I said, it's cold. And so if you hear it click on, sorry, I turned it off this morning so it wouldn't be annoying background noise. And now he's cold, so he's turned it back on. But he was telling her she's obsessed with this whole booby relationship still. She finds comfort in it. And she's finally starting to break the habit of like cupping my boob. It's just like a little comfort thing where she'll just like put her hand over my chest and just sit there. And she'll say, booby, booby. She's obsessed. It's weird. It's a weird thing, especially since now she's almost 4, but it's what she found comfort in, and so it's not that weird. She's just a baby. But all that to say, Tim was telling her that this is her booby sweater because it's like little boobies. That's exactly what he thought it looked like, little nipples. And so now she likes the booby sweater. And I think she'll like it, especially when I have like a little baby doll sweater to match. She'll wear it. But since she was all, I don't want that sweater because it's pink, I went stash diving and for some purple yarn. And I've had this in my stash for a while. I actually knit this. I'm so bad, y'all. I have a lot of sweaters just like this that are the body and nothing else. But I knit this for Prudence a while back. I couldn't even tell you how long ago. I'd have to look at my Ravelry project page if I even created a project about it. This was the little gnome sweater by Nina Knitting Expat. And it's really super textured through here. I love it. And there's supposed to be a hood. But by the time now that Prudence is almost 12, this isn't going to fit her anymore. This is like for a size 8 child. And it won't fit Ruby for years yet. And so I'm going to frog this and knit her a purple sweater. And this is the pattern, which I think it's the Delilah. And when you buy this pattern, you actually get the cardigan, a pullover, and a dress pattern. And I think the sizes are really, like, it's a large age range for sizes. I want to say 1 to 12, but don't quote me on that. But I just thought it was so sweet with the little leaves around the collar, and that she would really look adorable in that. I haven't started it yet. I probably would have cast on last week, but the lace is charted, and I've never done charted lace before. When I did this lace, it was charted and written, and I just followed the written instructions. And so that intimidates me a little bit. I don't do charts very well. Color works different because you're just knitting the whole time. In a lace chart, you're looking at increases and decreases and yarn overs, and a lot is going on. And so this is kind of my wishful thinking knit at this point. I'll probably have to sit down with some of my knitting friends and try to decipher the large portion of that chart, because my brain just doesn't want to read charts. And another thing, again, we talked about how it's getting so cold outside. And you know what? I've never knit myself a pair of mitts. Never. I cannot believe that either. I've been knitting for like 6 or 7 years now, and crocheting much longer than that, and I don't have any finger warmers whatsoever. And so I found this pattern, the Sweet Luna mitts. Oh my God, don't you love those? I'd been wanting to do the moth ones for a few years, but then when I was looking at the moth ones, I guess I found this one too, and I love the moons. I relate to the moons better than the moths. So we're going to do that. And I actually had yarn in my stash. So excited. I just had Tim cake this up last night. He's my new yarn caker. My elbow gets so screwed up when I'm trying to cake yarn. I'll take it out. I'll have my kids do it, or my husband, because I'm like, I don't want to cake the yarn. So I've had this in my stash a while. I've knit a lot of things with this gray. It's called El Greco by Madeline Tosh. I love Madeline Tosh. And this one, I knit I can't remember what the hat pattern is. Everyday hat or something. Last year, and a dog destroyed it. Not my dog. I was at a friend's, and I took my hat off and left it on the porch because it was hot outside, and that was my mistake, because this dog took my mohair and Madeline Tosh hat out in the yard with a furry pom-pom out in the yard, and it was destroyed. So that hat is no more. It's rest in pieces. But that was just left over from that, and I'm pretty sure there's enough yardage here. I only need like 82 yards of the contrasting color, and I'm sure there's 82 yards here. But so I am going to cast these on probably today, because I'm excited about this project. And I really love Tim's cakes. This is like so tight and bouncy and like, oh, not messy. But that is that project, and that's really all I've been working on. I haven't put any work into Prudence's socks. I really need to get those finished. I only have another week to get them finished. I only have to do a toe and 2 heels, and they're done. I don't, like, it would take me a couple hours to finish that, and I just need to put the time into it. I have been reading. So I know a lot of knitters are into this series or this author in particular, and so I wanted to share that I freaking love her too. Court of Thorns and Roses series. So this is like the 4th or 5th book. It's kind of confusing to me because there were 3 books and then she wrote this like little mini book. So is that one of the 4ths, or is that not included in the series? But this is from one of the other characters' perspectives and more about their story, A Court of Silver Flames. Super good. I got it at Tuesday, on Tuesday at the library, and I'm already more than halfway through it. I can't put it down. I probably would have done a lot more knitting this week had I not been reading that book, but too many hobbies, too little time. So that is all I have to show you guys. I am so glad that y'all got to sit down with me and see what I've been working on, and yeah, hope to have more progress and hope to see you again and it not take 2 weeks. Like, hopefully that's not true, but I'm saying that to allow myself some grace and just to take it how it is and not try to stress or rush. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Leave me a comment down below telling me what your favorite thing I'm working on is, or leave me some tips about reading charts, honestly, because if you have a website that like breaks it down to where it will be written out in rows, that would be ideal for me, because I would just rather have it written out so I could read it and knit. That's easy. That's how I do it. But yeah, thanks guys. See you next time.